Quadratic expressions, part 3.
In previous class, we discussed the nature of the roots theoretically. So for this session, we have to discuss the nature of the roots graphically. See here, first let f of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0 be any quadratic equation. So here three cases, one is delta greater than 0 and delta equals to 0 and delta less than 0. So before going to that, we have to know the graph of quadratic equation. See here, first you have to know the graph of y is equal to x square and y is equal to minus x square. So draw the x-axis and y-axis. This is the point of intersection 0, 0 and this is 1, 2, 3 and this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 and here 1, 2, 3, 4 and here minus 1, minus 2. Now first draw the graph of y is equal to x square. Here x square coefficient is positive. If x is equal to 0, y value also 0. So this is the 0, 0 point. If x is equal to 1, y value also 1. So that is 1, 1 point. If x is equal to minus 1, y value also 1. In that case, point is minus 1, 1. If x is equal to 2, y value is 4. That is 2, 4. And x is equal to minus 2, y value 4. Now joining these points, now this graph represents the upwards parabola, that is y is equal to x square graph, and y is equal to minus x square graph. Substitute the values of x. At x is equal to 0, y value is 0. At x is equal to 1, y value is minus 1. At x is equal to minus 1, in that case also minus 1. Now joining these points, you get the given graph. So that is the graph of y is equal to minus x square. So this graph represents downwards the parabola. So see the first case in nature of the roots. If delta greater than 0, then roots are real and distinct. See here, if delta is greater than 0, roots are real and distinct. So means here degree of given equation is 2. You will get 2 roots that are alpha and beta, and delta greater than 0, both roots are real and distinct. So roots means the given graph touches the x-axis and that point is called a root. So for example, y is equal to x. So clear it in the form of y is equal to mx. So this graph is passing through the origin. So like this. So what is the root of this line? So clearly x is equal to 0 is a root. Means at x is equal to 0, the given graph touches. So similarly, ax square plus bx plus c is the quadratic equation. In that case, delta greater than 0 means both roots are real and distinct. So clearly that graph touches the x-axis at 2 distinct points. The first one, if a is greater than 0, and second one, if a is less than 0, and delta greater than 0 means both roots are real and distinct. That is, given graph touches the x-axis at two distinct points. See here, quotient of x square is positive. Then clearly the given graph represents upwards parabola. So this is the x-axis. So parabola upwards and delta greater than 0. So given graph touches x-axis at two distinct points. Say that points alpha and beta. So this is the f of x. That is ax square plus bx plus c graph. Now see here, these are the x values. X is equal to alpha, x is equal to beta. If x less than alpha or x greater than beta, in that case graph lies above the x-axis, means f of x is positive. See here, if x less than alpha or x greater than beta, in that case graph lies above the x-axis, so therefore f of x values are positive. If x lies in the interval alpha and beta, if x belongs to alpha comma beta, in that case graph lies below the x-axis, means f of x is negative. And last one, at x is equal to alpha, at x is equal to beta, the given graph touches the x-axis, then clearly alpha and beta are the roots. That is, f of x values are 0. So if x is equal to alpha and beta, in that case f of x is 0. So this is the first case. And second one is, if a is less than 0, in that case the graph represents downwards parabola. So the given graph like this. So this is alpha and this is beta. So these are the x values. See here, if x less than alpha, x greater than beta. First one, if x less than alpha or x greater than beta, in that case the given graph lies below the x-axis. So therefore f of x is negative. Then f of x is negative. So second one, if x lies in the interval alpha and beta, in that case the graph lies above the x-axis. So that is, f of x is greater than 0. At x is equal to alpha, x is equal to beta, f of x values are 0. This is the first case. So now second case, if delta is equals to 0, then roots are real and equal. So here are also two possibilities. If a is greater than 0 and a is less than 0. So first one, if a is greater than 0. So second one, if a is less than 0. If a is greater than 0, that is quotient of x square is positive. In that case, the given graph represents upwards parabola, and delta equals to 0 means roots are real and equal. Both roots are coincident. So in that case, graph is like this. This is f of x graph. Here both roots are coincident. That is, x is equal to alpha, it is equal to beta. Okay. See here, f of x is greater than 0. Whenever it is greater than 0, for all x belongs to R except at x is equal to alpha. Okay. And f of x equals to 0 at x is equal to alpha. So here if a is less than 0, in that case the given graph represents downwards parabola. So that parabola is like this. This is x is equal to alpha is equal to beta. So here f of x is negative. F of x is negative. When for all x belongs to R, but except to this point. Except at x is equal to alpha. But at x is equal to alpha, the graph touches the x-axis, means f of x is 0. F of x is equal to 0 at x is equal to alpha. This is the second case. So last case, if delta is less than 0, in that case roots are complex numbers, then roots are complex numbers. So means the given graph does not touches the x-axis. So here also two cases, if a is greater than 0, if a is less than 0. If a is greater than 0, then given graph represents upward parabola, and delta is less than 0, means that parabola does not touch the x-axis. So clearly the given parabola is like this. So this is x-axis. Therefore f of x is always positive for all x belongs to R. A is less than 0. In that case, the given graph represents downwards parabola. So like this. And that parabola does not touch the x-axis because of delta is less than 0. So in that case, f of x is always negative for all x belongs to R. So these are the three cases. See here, next problem. Find the condition that one root of the quadratic equation shall be n times the other. Here n is positive integer. Given quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So here you want to find the condition that one root of quadratic equation shall be n times the other root. So here what is the given condition? And the given condition is one root of equation 1 shall be n times the other root. So that is, here this is the quadratic equation. You know that quadratic equation has the two roots. In that one root is shall be n times the other. That is, let alpha comma beta are roots and alpha is equal to n beta. So according to given condition. Now here sum of the roots is what? Alpha plus beta is equals to minus b by a, and product of the roots, that is alpha beta, that is also c by a. Now here alpha is what? N beta. Now substitute here n beta. N beta plus beta is equal to minus b by a. And here alpha into beta, here alpha is n beta into beta. So you get n beta square is equal to c by a. Now this is n plus 1 of beta is equal to minus b by a. And this one, beta square is equal to c by na. So from this you can write b. So that is beta is equal to minus b by a times of n plus 1. Now substitute this beta value in this equation. See here. So this is equation 2, equation 3. So from 3, beta square is equal to c by na. So what is beta value? Minus b by a times of n plus 1. So minus b by a times of n plus 1 whole square is equals to c by na. So write as it is c by na. Now this is minus b whole square, that is b square by a square into n plus 1 whole square is equal to c by n. So here 1 a get cancelled. Now do the cross multiplication. What you get? n b square is equal to ac times of n plus 1 whole square. So this is the required condition. One root of quadratic equation shall be n times the other. Then the required condition is nb square equal to ac into n plus 1 whole square. So next problem. Solve 2 into x to the power of 4 plus x cube minus 11x square plus x plus 2 equals to 0. So we have to solve this 4th degree equation. See here, given 2x power 4 plus x cube minus 11x square plus x plus 2 is equals to 0. But in previous problems you solve quadratic equation. So but here 4th degree equation. So we have to make this 4th degree equation in terms of x square, means quadratic equation. So for that you have to divide this equation with x square. So right, divide with x square on both sides. If you divide with x square, then this 4th degree change into 2nd degree. 2x power 4 by x square. So that is 2x square. X cube by x square, that is x, minus 11x square by x square is 11, and x by x square is 1 by x, and 2 by x square is equals to 0. So clearly this is the quadratic equation. Now here from first and last 2 is common. So 2 is common, what you get? X square plus 1 by x square. And write x plus 1 by x. X plus 1 by x. So constant is 11. This equals to 0. Now it is in the form of a square plus b square. This can be written as 2 into x plus 1 by x whole square minus 2ab. 2x into 1 by x is 2 plus x plus 1 by x minus 11 is equal to 0. So here let x plus 1 by x is equal to t. Then this equation becomes, so that is equation 1 becomes 2 times of x plus 1 by x, that is t square minus 2 plus t minus 11 is equal to 0. So this is equation. Now here 2t square plus t. So here minus 4 minus 11 minus 15 is equals to 0. So clearly it represents a quadratic equation. So for this equation you have two roots. Here you want to find the roots. So here this can be written as 2t square plus 6t minus 5t minus 15 is equals to 0. So this is 2t common, you get t plus 3 minus 5 common, you get t plus 3 is equals to 0. So from this you can write t values are minus 3 and 5 by 2. So what are the t values here? So therefore t plus 3 into 2t minus 5 is equals to 0. So from this t values are t is equal to minus 3 comma 5 by 2. So where you get 2t values because of degree of this equation is 2. Now substitute these t values in equation 2. So first case 1. If t is equal to minus 3, then equation 2 implies x plus 1 by x is equal to minus 3. So from this you can write x square plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now find your roots. So that is x is equal to minus 3 plus or minus b square 9 minus 4 by 2a, that is 2. So this is what? Minus 3 plus or minus root 5 by 2. And second case, if t is equals to 5 by 2. See here, second case, if t is equal to 5 by 2, again substitute this t in equation 2. So that is x plus 1 by x is equal to what? 5 by 2. So from this you can write 2x square minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0. Now again this can be written as 2x square minus x minus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. So here x is common, you get 2x minus 1, minus 2 is common, you get 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. So this is 2x minus 1 into x minus 2. So from this it can be written as x values are 1 by 2 comma 2. So therefore what are the x values? 1 by 2 comma 2 and minus 3 plus or minus root 5 by 2. So clearly here you got 4x values because of degree of given polynomial equation is 4. So next problem, solve 7 power 1 plus x plus 7 power 1 minus x is equal to 50 for all x belongs to R. See here, given equation is what? 7 power 1 plus x plus 7 power 1 minus x is equal to 50. This equation write as 7 into 7 power x plus 7 by 7 power x is equal to 50. So here 7 power x as t. So here let 7 power x is equal to t. So this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. Now you want to substitute 7 power x value in equation 1. Now equation 1 implies 7t plus 7 by t is equal to what? 50. So this is 7t square minus 50t plus 7 is equal to 0. Now clearly this is the quadratic equation in terms of t. Now here you want to find the roots. See here, this can be written as 7t square minus t minus 49t plus 7 is equal to 0. So this is t common 7t minus 1 minus 7 common. You get 7t minus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. Now this is 7t minus 1 into t minus 7 is equal to 0. So what are the t values here? T is equal to 1 by 7 comma 7. So you get 2 t values. Now this t value is substituted in equation 2. So first case 1. If t is equal to 1 by 7, then equation 2 implies 7 power x is equal to what? T. So 7 power x is equal to 1 by 7, write as 7 to the power of minus 1. So clearly base are equal and equate the powers. So from this you can write x value is minus 1. And case 2. So what is case 2? If t is equal to 7, then substitute t value in equation 2. If t is equal to 7, then equation 2 implies 7 power x is equals to t is what? 7. Again, equate the powers, you get x is equals to what? 1. So therefore, x values are, one is minus 1 and another one is 1. So these are the solutions of given equation. So next theorem. If both roots of quadratic equations are common, means two quadratic equations have the common roots, then a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2 equals to c1 by c2, and also a1x square plus b1x plus c1 is equal to a1 by a2 into a2x square plus b2x plus c2. So proof. So here both roots are common. So let the roots be alpha and beta. Okay. And what are the given quadratic equations? And given a1x square plus b1x plus c1 is equal to 0 and a2x square plus b2x plus c2 is equal to 0. This is equation 1 and equation 2. So from 1, sum of the roots. So what are the sum of the roots? Minus b1 by a1 and product of the roots is c1 by a1. So from equation 2, here also write alpha plus beta. Here also write alpha plus beta. because of both roots of quadratic equations are same. So that's why alpha plus beta is equal to minus b2 by a2 and alpha beta is equal to c2 by b2, and equating these two and these two. So that is minus b1 by a1 is equal to minus b2 by a2. Next one, c1 by a1 is equal to c2 by b2. So from this you can write a1 by a2 is equal to what? b1 by b2. Here c1 by c2 is equal to what? a1 by a2. From these two, it can be written as a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 is equal to c1 by c2. If both roots of given quadratic equations are same, then a1 by a2 equals to b1 by b2 equal to c1 by c2. And next one is what? You want to show this quadratic equation, means first quadratic equation is a1 by a2 into second quadratic equation. Now consider the LHS. So what is LHS here? a1x square plus b1x plus c1. Now this can be written as, so here a1 is common, what you get? X square plus b1 by a1 x plus c1 by a1. See here what is b1 by a1? Write b2 by a2, and c1 by a1 is c2 by a2. So that is a1 into x square plus b2 by a2 into x plus c2 by a2. So this can be written as a1 by a2 into a2x square plus b2x plus c. So this is the RHS. See the next concept, common root of both quadratic equations. See here. Here, if two quadratic equations have the common root, then you want to find the condition. See here, given quadratic equations a1x square plus b1x plus c1 is equal to 0. This is equation 1. And second one, a2x square plus b2x plus c2 is equal to 0. This is equation 2. So here both equations 1 and 2 have the common root alpha. So I am writing here, let alpha be the common root of both equations 1 and 2. So that is, see here, alpha be the common root. So root means this alpha satisfies the equation 1 as well as equation 2. So because of this is the common root. So equation 1 implies a1 alpha square plus b1 alpha plus c1 is equal to 0. This is equation 3. And equation 2 implies a2 alpha square plus b2 alpha plus c2 is equal to 0. This is equation 4. Now solving these two equations, that is solving 3 and 4. So for solving these equations, you have to use YCX method. So that method is, see here, so first write alpha square and write alpha and constant. Options what? A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C1. And here start from second terms. So that is B1, B2. And write third terms. C1, C2. And write first terms. A1, A2. So again write second terms. B1, B2. Now cross multiplication here. See here alpha square by B1 C2 minus B2 C1. Alpha square by B1 C2 minus B2 C1. And alpha by C1 A2 minus C2 A2. C1 A2 minus C2 A2. And constant by A1 B2 minus A2 B1. A1 B2 minus A2 B. So clearly equating first and last and second and last. So from that you get alpha square value is B1 C2 minus B2 C1 by A1 B2 minus A2 B. And alpha value is what? C1 A2 minus C2 A1 divided by A1 B2 minus A2 B. And substitute this alpha in this equation. So from that C1 A2 minus C2 A1 whole square by A1 B2 minus A2 B1 whole square is equals to what? B1 C2 minus B2 C1 divided by A1 B2 minus A2 B. So here one term should be cancelled. Now you will get C1 A2 minus C2 A1 whole square is equal to A1 B2 minus A2 B1 into B1 C2 minus B2 C. So this is the required condition if one root of both quadratic equations are same. See here next problem. So this is the example of common root concept. See here, if the equations have common root, means both equations have the one common root, that is alpha, and second equation has equal roots, means b square minus 4ac is 0. Then prove that 2 times of b plus d is equal to ac. See here, given quadratic equations x square plus cx plus d is equal to 0, this is the equation 1, and x square plus ax plus b is equal to 0, this is equation 2. If both equations have the common root, that is, let alpha be the common root of 1 and 2, means this alpha satisfies the equation 1 and equation 2. So that is alpha square plus c alpha plus d is equal to 0. This is equation 3. And also alpha square plus a alpha plus b is equal to 0. This is equation 4. And here given the second equation has equal roots, means b square minus 4ac is 0, or both roots are equal. So you know the one root, that is alpha, and the remaining root also alpha. See here, equation 4 has equal roots, say alpha and alpha. Okay. See here, equation 2 has equal roots, say alpha and alpha. Now find sum of the roots, that is alpha plus alpha. So what is alpha plus alpha? Minus c. And product of the roots, that is alpha into alpha. So what is alpha into alpha? B. See here, 2 alpha is equal to minus a. From this alpha value is minus e by 2 and alpha square value is b. Substitute this alpha and alpha square in equation 3. So equation 3 implies alpha square, that is b, plus c alpha, that is c into plus c into minus a by 2, plus d is equals to 0, plus d is equals to 0. This is 2b minus ac plus 2d is equal to 0. This can be written as 2 times of b plus d is equal to ac. This is the required condition. For next session we discuss few more theorems and problems.